There we go. All right. So I clicked on from the Lions International website, I clicked on the link for the Lion portal. And if you've never been here before, then you won't have an account established. Establishing an account is very easy, very simple, and I'm going to walk through this here. I'm going to click on Don't Have an Account, and you'll find that the only thing that's required is your name and your email address. The clue for Lions International is the email address. The email address that Lions International understands is connected to you. In other words, your club secretary has plugged in your email address as a point of contact. That right there is the big clue. You click on the sign up, you get a response, and you're in. It's just that difficult. So you don't even need your membership registration number. So it's kind of cool. Once you have the account established, you log in the normal fashion. And no, I don't want to. I'm going to turn that off. That's my password saving configuration thingy there that you saw. So on the inside the Lion portal, when it comes up, you'll find that there are several modules in play here. And the four primary ones are these right up here with the large tile.
That way. Yeah.
I don't have, where is, oh, um, I think Mike, I think your mic is turned on and you and the missus are talking to her. Go ahead and turn off your mic. So the my membership is about me personally, and of course my club, my district, my multiple district, my CA information is in here, and then there's information about Lions in the larger context internationally. Just like everything else, when it comes to working with the web, you will find that there's more than one way to accomplish the same thing. For instance, we've got the My Membership tile here. I can also open this up and get into My Membership. I can also get into Service over here, although it does not have a tile to itself. I can go into the Lions Learning Center and the Reports and Insights, which I want to show you a little bit later on. And this is where you can do the shopping. Whenever you find a menu or a dialogue that says more or options, you want to go explore. And here again, we find some repetition. Here's another way to get into the same thing as this right here. So there's more than one way to do the same thing. Underneath, we have some training videos. I like to bring this to people's attention because this takes you directly to a bunch of training videos on YouTube. This is a link to YouTube, the Lions International website there. And the training videos, just like everything else on YouTube, free of charge. Yeah. So take advantage of the training videos. Another item I want to bring to your attention is this down here. If you have questions, if you run into a stumbling block, if you find some incorrect information, whatever the case may be, excuse me, good beer. Contact them at this, either at the email or at the phone number. 001, of course, indicates the country code of the United States. So that's a quick rundown on the primary elements found on the what they call the landing page or the splash page of the Lion portal. This information over here on the left side, these stats, total number of clubs, total number of people served by LCIF, participants this fiscal year, etc. All of this is part of, if I can bring this back up, part of the dashboard. And we're going to be exploring that a little bit later on. First, I wanted to show you that for many of us, we have more than one title in our Lions organization. For instance, maybe you're club secretary and you're the zone chair, or maybe you're the club president and you're the district cabinet, one of the members of the district cabinet. The whatever titles you may hold, both present and past, it is important that you understand that what you see, especially regarding my club and my district. What you see and what you're able to edit depends on your title. So if you're logging on here and you don't have an officer title, you're not a club secretary, and you're not a member of the zone cabinet or anything like that, then of course the information that you see and are able to edit is far less than what I would be able to do or what the district governor can do, et cetera, et cetera. You can find this, and this is important because if you want to, if I want to, well, let me show you. I'm looking up my current titles. And I do this because I want to be able to go in and see a bunch of information as a multiple district admin that I cannot see as a club secretary. So it all depends on the title. By default, it turns on the current officer title. And I see that I am a multiple district guest right now for multiple district 19. If I want to do my editing and stuff on the MD-wide side of things, then I have to click on this guy. If I don't, it presumes my lowest title, that of the club secretary for Silverdale Sunrise Lions. So I'm going to click on this, and that's going to give me a lot of latitude. It's going to give me a lot of tools, and I got power here. Yeah, very cool. Come on. This is operating kind of slower than what I normally see, because we are doing this video thing at the same time. So the bandwidth is a little crowded when I'm working with this. So I want to return back over here to home now that I am logged in, if you will, or connected as the MD-wide admin. I'm going to return back from where I started, and I want to show you what this stuff looks like for my membership. Now, if you're not a club secretary or a club president or a club administrator, then you won't be able to edit this. But even then, for club secretary, president, and admin, even then, there are a couple of fields that you cannot edit that you have to coordinate with Lions International in order to edit. Oh man, don't do that. Oh man. Come on, come on. Is it still talking to me? No, it's not. All right, I'm going to try this again. Let me hit the old F5. F5 is the refresh key, so I won't, hopefully, I won't have to go back and then go forward again. Refresh means try to load this page again. This part, by the way, folks, if you're not familiar with it, this part that we see here, this is called hurry up and wait. All right. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's not even responding. I'm clicking on, good. Oh, I shouldn't be so anxious and impatient. And okay, it's loading. Again, for me, this is loading far slower than what I normally see. Here we go. So this is my information about me, and including my email address and where I live. There's a map right there. Email address, physical address, home phone, all this happy, neat stuff way down here. Yeah, I've got all this stuff, past officer titles that I've held, and this is cool. I also have information about my memberships. I don't recall seeing this before, which brings up, while I'm waiting for this to load, brings up another point, is that the folks at Lions International, the programmers that put this thing together, that's where I am. Okay. The folks at Lions International are continuously working on this to improve it and expand its capability. And I don't recall seeing this before. I think this is a new module that they put into place. So that's very, very nice. So I am a former club member. Oh, that's interesting. Dropped. Oh, this is weird. I did not know this. I want to find out what this link is for. Come on, talk to me.
Is it for another club, a different club?
I've been a member of two prior clubs, the Oak Harbor Lions and the Silverdale Dandelions. So I was wondering which one it's referring to there. No, I got it. I see up here at the top, this is error. Okay, fine. Fine. So maybe, now I didn't, now of course this was a long time ago, literally back in the 80s. So we're talking some, talking some 40 years ago that I was a member of the Oak Harbor Lions. And maybe something happened way because I was still on active duty in the Navy at that time. And about a year after I joined the Oak Harbor Lions, I get sent to sea and found myself in Japan waiting for my ship. So yeah, I know I got to exhibit a little patience here, let it load, and well, let's see what happens if I try this one, my officer titles. That's what I prefer to see, that little guy right there. Okay, so this is my past and present titles, the different things that I've been doing, which is cool. So the whole point of this, folks, is that whatever you get into, do some exploring for a couple of reasons. You'll learn how to navigate within here and figure out how things are organized and where information might be found. Sometimes the location of the information can be a little deceptive. For instance, I've returned back over here to home. My personal details. You would think that all of this is my personal details. There's even more personal details over here. And of course, the members that you sponsored, a couple of my sponsors have passed on, folks that I've sponsored. I say that there are times when it can be a little deceptive. And let me show you an example. I'm returning back to the start. And I want to look at my club information because several months ago, I logged on to here and I did not have, I only had about 3 items across the top as I recall at that time. And I wanted to bring up a roster of our Leo's Club that we sponsor at the local school. And I'm looking around here and data export and service activities and statements and new club applications. No. I had to, and I found it by accident down here to the right, sponsored clubs, and that's where I found my information regarding our club, the Klahowya Eagles. So sometimes you have to not take at face value what we see immediately. Sometimes you have to go exploring around and look a little further, and you might be pleasantly surprised at what you find. A lot of folks, one of the first things that they want to do, especially club secretaries, they will want to obtain a club roster. And they do this in what is called the data export. Now, the data export, as I click on this, actually offers me several choices here. Member contact information, just the club officer contact info, member detail, and club level service activities information. Ooh, now that's a new one on me. I hadn't seen that one before. Most folks will want to utilize the member detail information for their roster because a good secretary, especially at the beginning of the year, will want to print this off and pass it around and tell everyone, make sure the information in here is correct. So if we click on member detail information, and then we again wait patiently for the next prompt to come up. By the way, notice it opened up a new tab. Oh, fine. It opened up a new tab over here. I'm going to try this again. Now this time it did not open a new tab. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, I want to click on member detail. Oh, that's why it didn't respond. Yeah. Hopefully this time we'll get it. Because it will actually offer me a choice. as to the type of information I can download. Looks like I'm going to get that. Good. Yeah. And looking at this initially, it's a little odd, maybe a little weird, but actually, if you do some poking around, you'll find that it's actually quite understandable. Come on, come on, you can do it. Hey. So it looks a little odd because over here to the right, I have a bunch of information with the Lions ID and the zone and the regular information. And then I have to scroll over here. Let me do it this way. I have to scroll over here before I find the actual detail information that I'm looking for. So have a little patience, do some wandering around. And then when you decide, yep, this is accurate, and I don't want to do any editing or anything like that, then what I can do is I can export this. Oh, before I do the export, I mentioned editing. In order to do any editing on any of these, you must first enable the editing. They put this as a separate thing because they don't want you to accidentally make some errors and click on something wrong and mess things up, if you will. So they set this up as a separate thing to toggle. It's a toggle. You turn it on, you turn it off. And you can also utilize a chart. Before you try a chart, look at what you've got and bring it down as a download. Now, when you click on the export button over here, it's going to present you with a dialog box that, like this, is somewhat kind of odd. Yeah, I know we're working in multiple District 19 and District 19N, at least that's my district. But notice I've got two choices here. Format a reporting, export the reporting with report headers, groupings, and other filter settings. Cool. And I can download this. If I select this, I can download this. Oh, actually, I don't have a choice. It will download as a PDF. If I want to bring it in another form, I have to click on details only. And here I have a choice. Now, this is the older Excel format, if you have the older versions, and I'm talking 2010 or earlier. This one, of course, is for after 2010. This is the current format. And if you're not using Excel, you can utilize this. It's called CSV. And CSV means it is information that can be imported into any spreadsheet program or any database program. And then you can work your information from there. Yeah, good beer. So I'm going to fire this off. I'm going to export it. For me, notice what happens up here. It has downloaded and it is waiting for me to open the file. It's going to, it resides. Oh, man. Oh, no. I accidentally downloaded the older version up here. Let me show that again. The older version that I downloaded. Well, I thought download, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, maybe I didn't. XLSX, yeah. I was thinking that Control J. No, okay. Let me look at this. Here it is. Yeah. Yep. XLS. So I downloaded the older version. Yeah. Not a big deal. So the whole idea here is that you can bring it into your Excel program, or you can bring it into any other program. The any other program caveat is for the CSV type format. Returning back over to home, when I'm doing these things, navigating about, I tend to, unless I know specifically where I'm going to and I can get there quickly, I tend to go back from where I started. So I'm going to click on home again. And I want to continue poking around with my club because there's some other things in here of which you need to be aware. The general information regarding your club And I'm talking about the place that you meet and time and dates that you meet, etc. All of that can be modified. All of that can be worked on from here. But you don't do it directly from here. You do it from one of these tools over here on the right-hand side. You've got member actions, which is different than club actions. With member actions, managing club members, including adding or subtracting any members of your club leadership, of your club. Club officers is for the leadership. If you have a club, this of course applies to them. Managing delegates is talking about delegates that your club, assigns for the next district convention, multiple district convention, and international convention. If you click on Manage Delegates, it's going to first ask you, which convention are you talking about? And I've done that here. Here we go. So I want to talk about the district convention or the multiple district, say the district convention. And of course, this is District 19N for me. And this is the name of the hotel where everything is being held. As I walk through this, let me see how this is turned on, show the upcoming. And yeah, there's, I mean, again. And let me see, allowed delegates, I've got one, available delegates, I've got one, voting in status and good standing, confirming all of this information. And actually, a lot of this information is still, is new. I don't recall ever seeing that before. Like I say, they're continuously updating this thing. So I want to assign a delegate to this, and I'm going to assign myself. Why? Because I'm the club secretary. Didn't work. Check here and there. Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute. So anyhow, this is where you can assign delegates for the different conventions. This is where you can view the assigned delegates, and of course, view as well your club officers. Managing means editing. Going over to the club actions. Got a small club going on here. I can get membership cards. And just like with the old My Lion, there is a way to download it and configure it so that it prints to specific type of cards that you can use with your printer. Get delegate confirmation letters. I've never had the need for that in the past. Neither has my club president. But, you know, this is where you can get that done. Various reports, and I'll come back to this. Create a club branch. In case you don't know it, creating a club branch means that the club secretary and the president have gotten the approval for a club branch from the membership and the new members of that club branch, of course, and decide that want to assign these folks in a club branch. This literally takes 5 minutes and does not require the approval of the district governor or Lions International. It requires the approval of the parent club. Kind of cool. And it literally takes about 5 minutes, maybe longer if you have to key in those new member names and information. You can create a new application. This is for a new club. And this is part of the process, a long process of creating a new club, not a branch club, a regular club. And this is where I can edit our club details. This information over here, maybe I need to make some modifications as to our meeting time, place, and frequency, etc. And I can do that from directly right here. So the two primary things that most presidents and secretaries are going to be concerned with are the members rosters and getting that information correct, and working with club details as well. But of course, that's not all there is to it. I'd like to bring to your attention this over here: my district, multiple district, and constitutional area. Every one of us belongs to a district. We've got different folks in different districts. The Mike Dukes, for instance, is in District L, and I'm in District N, and Nancy is in L. So we've got different districts. However, I can see a lot of information, even if I was not connected as a MD admin. I can see a lot of this information as a regular Lion. All I have to do is go poking around to find it. Looks a little familiar, right? I found the same thing from here, right? Okay. So this is my district, yeah. Details of the district, clubs and officers. And this is not classified information. Anybody has information, anybody has access to this information regarding the officers of our multiple district, regarding the officers of your district as well. And oh, it's just showing off the MD stuff. You can also get details about the different clubs in your district and multiple district. And if you want to, find out who the club president or secretary is of a particular club. And let me see, level. I'm going to go with constitutional area. We are in constitutional area 1. It works its way from the top down. Yeah. Ooh, I don't care about that. Officers above me. Okay. Let me try something different. Come on. In case you were wondering, when I send out the schedule or the notification of the schedule to all of the club presidents and secretaries, and some people are kind of surprised, especially at the beginning of the Lions year, and they find this nosy email from this guy named Al Hedstrom. And he's talking about training and how did he get my name and information? I got it from right here. Club, the Explorer of the Explorers, yeah, Explore the Officers. So I want to, well, let me select, I'd like to learn more about it. Yeah. Why would it respond with something above me? Officers above me. And it doesn't make any sense. Or as my grandmother used to say, what the hell's going on here?
So Al,
Yeah.
can you actually, depending on what your position is, could you actually send something now? Just say all club presidents in L, all club presidents in I, all secretaries in I?
If it was cooperating with me, yes. And what I could do is it would bring up something very similar to what we saw with regards to my club roster, so that it had multiple district on the left side, and then district, and then of course the club information. And from there, you'll find something very similar if this were to work correctly. You would find the same information, and you could bring up a list of all of the districts, and you select which district you want to find the information for. I'm very disappointed that it's behaving this way. And maybe it's because I've got such a crowded connection here. I don't know. Yeah. I'm very disappointed. But this is where I get the roster of the club officers. And if I have a club treasurer training coming up, I will include an email to the club treasurer, and I personalize it, so that all of them read, going to Club President Bob, and I cite the Lions Club in the body of the message and so forth. I try to personalize it a little bit. Let's see what we can find with regards to our clubs in here and see if it behaves in a different way. Yeah. Now I want to notice it said constitutional area. For me, because I'm in constitutional area 1, this would presumably bring up all of the clubs in the United States. Ooh. So let's make it a little easier. Rather than throughout the US, I'm going to ask for a list of all of the clubs of MD19. Yeah, all right. Maybe if I am a little less demanding. Hey, there we are. So if I want to, let me see, 5 districts, yep. And I'm going to select these 2. Oh, maybe it's one at a time. All right. I click on next, and now it's going to bring up information about the clubs in this district. And there they all are. Now notice that if I want to bring up information regarding one or several of these clubs, come on, cooperate with me now. It's only allowing me to select one at a time. Okay, Kootenai Lake Lions. And did you notice? I should have pointed that out. The name is right here, Kootenai Lake Lions, Kootenai Lake LC. There are many clubs that are multiple, and maybe it was common some time ago, where they had the name of the club and the letters LC following it. That is the official name of that club. In this case, Kootenai Lake LC. Could I change it? No, I can't change it. That would mean I'm not sure I want to do that. I'm going to cancel out of that. I may be biting off more than I can chew, causing some difficulties. Changing the name of a Lions Club without letting the members know, that's not a good thing. I see the meeting place where they meet, the frequency, the time, the exact location, etc., etc., etc. Very cool. And of course, I have a list of all of the members. Now, as a regular Lion, it's very possible that this information may only have the name and that's it. I don't know. It would not surprise me if the email address was available, but at the very least, every regular member will be able to see the name. Of course, club officers, if you need to narrow it down, that's always a good idea as well, especially if it's a large club. You got 70 or 80 members, wander through a whole great big list. So here we have information regarding the club officers, which is very nice. And another thing that if I want to, I can manage club members. Oh yeah, as multiple district admin, I can actually go into a club and add or modify the information regarding the club membership, as well as club officers. I could even manage the delegates. If I want to view the club officers, of course, this is regarding just the club officers themselves, just like what I saw down there below. So I click on current, and here's all of the club officers. And then, come on, come on, come on. I expected it to provide me a way to download that information again as a Excel spreadsheet or as a CSV. So the Kootenai Lake LC, they have 26 members. Very cool. Yeah. I'm going to return over to home. Again, I want to keep coming back here so that we have a common place that we're comfortable with. And of course, I want to also explore, just because I can, my association. Now, this is at the international level. And there's a lot of things going on in here, like clubs. Oh my goodness. As I'm waiting for this to come up, I like to point out over here on the right side, if you're having trouble finding these documents on the regular Lions International webpage, hey, online directory. I have not explored the online directory. Here we are. So I want to do some poking around here with regards to the clubs, the count by the CA. Let me see, where the status equals newly charted. Well, I want to see all my clubs. Right now, these are the clubs that have been chartered. And MD19, there we are right there. And we have 347 clubs in MD19. Very cool. If I wanted to see all of the clubs, well, that's my default. Newly chartered or pending a charter. No. The constitutional area, of course, is going to be U.S. and affiliates. At this point, I could change this to one of the other constitutional areas, and I can say I want to look at all of the LEO's clubs as well, or just club branches. So I've got some choices as to the type of information that I want to bring down and take a look at. If I've not tried this one, view report all clubs by CA. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to try it. Why not? I've never tried this one. Let's see what happens. Ah,
Is there a L Lions International portal helpline?
yes. I pointed it out at the very beginning. The email and the phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's at the home.
Do they answer?
Oh yeah, yeah. Over the past year and a half, I've sent many emails, and I always get a response. You first get a response of "We've received your email," and then I get a response back, within a day or two. Yeah,
Cool.
I've not tried calling them. So here we have all of the multiple districts. Well, parent district is MD1. These are undistricted. For instance, District 37 is Montana. They used to be part of a multiple district that extended up into Alberta, but they split, and now Montana is a single district, not a multiple district, and they are SD 37, and he's got 58 clubs in SD 37. By the way, I get to go to SD 37's annual convention coming up in May. It's going to be held in Helena, Montana. My initial thought was road trip, but geez, 3 days on the road? I don't think so. Okay, but I digress. So I can identify all of these things by multiple district. They're organized by multiple district, and eventually, of course, we can work our way down to our famous MD19. And we've got LIONSA, and these are the clubs that count the clubs within. And these are not editable.
Wow. One of the districts has 91 clubs.
Yeah, that's District L. And which one might that be?
L.
Yeah.
We're part of L.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's up there on the island, the northern part of the Olympic Peninsula, and a substantial part of Vancouver and environs.
Mainland. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they got a large number of clubs, and this don't quote me on this, but I think Lion L or District L and District N are the only ones with new clubs in the past 2 years. I know District L has probably had about a half a dozen new clubs in the past year or two, maybe more. I lost track. So these are stats, and notice I cannot change any of these things. I can double click all day long, and that's not going to do me good. I can double click all day long, and yeah. So this is just for me to read, and that's cool. But these are all of my multiple districts, and within each multiple, it breaks me down as to each district. And if I wanted to look at all of the clubs, I would have to try something a little bit different here. Enable it. No, I don't want to try that. I'll get myself in trouble if I do that. Oh, I get myself in trouble. Okay. So that largely the stuff in my CA is largely stuff that even I, as an MD19, as a multiple district admin, I cannot change. I want to bring to your attention how we report service. If you've never done this before, we open up the service. It's only got one item in the menu. So opening it up, and I have some notes that I need to plug in here as I'm waiting for this information to come up. The first few times you do this, oh man, um, it seems to be a little clunky and um, but I've gotten accustomed to it, and I understand how it's organized now, and so I have less difficulty with this. But and as you do this, two or three or four times, you'll get the hang of it. But there's one important item that I frequently forget that I want to bring to your attention. First of all, brings up the activities within the last 3 months, and you can change that to even back to a couple of years, as I recall. Look at
Actually, it'll go right back to the beginning. You can do all my activities that are ever recorded will be on there.
wow.
Activity, my club, all, that'll go right back to the beginning when it was
Wow.
people who were putting it on, because I use this a lot.
Wow, very good. And again, hurry up and wait. That's why I think, yeah, fine. That I'm of the impression of the opinion that the folks that worked on this with Salesforce, that a large number of them are prior military, because they've got a whole lot of waiting things going on here. And in the military, we learn the value of hurry up and wait. So
I think the problem thing is that there's so much, it's such a large database, it
yeah,
takes a while to drill it down. But
yep,
there's really good things like when you want to, when you next year, when you want to do the same activity, all you do is bring up last year's and copy it, and then you just re-edit it. You don't have to start from scratch.
yep, yeah. In essence, they are creating templates for you.
Yeah.
So let me see. Title for my activity is Clear Creek Trail. Once a month, we make a visit to a local trail. It started out as about a 5 mile long trail, and now it extends out to about 30 miles, and it continues to expand. Very cool. And so here I am creating a new item, and this tells me it's incomplete. It's in draft form right now, and all of these things are things that I have to edit, like the start date. Now, wherever we find the pencil, those are the items that we can edit. The items that we cannot edit, stuff like that, right? Okay. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so I can see more of what I'm playing with. And so let me see. Start date for this activity, here we are, was last weekend. It was on the 8th, and it concluded on the 8th. And the number of people that served was 6. Oh, no. We estimate in a single month's time that there's probably about 800 people that go through the trail. I usually limit, I try not to do that much. It really kind of raises some eyebrows. So I drop it down to 500. We had 6 people working the trail. And total, and it took about 2 hours each, so it was about 12 hours total. There were no other money going on with this particular one. We did not plant any trees per se, but the trail is on both sides of the trail is nothing but forest. So we've estimated that there are about 60 different trees alongside. And because we're keeping the place relatively clean, we figure we are caring for those trees. Yeah. I think I've set this up previously as a signature grant. The venue is the Clear Creek Trail. Start time, we always start at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we wrap up around noon.
Do they have you put any of the like hunger, vision, environment? Do they have you put those in anymore?
Yeah, they do. Hold on, I'm getting there.
Al, you don't have to put in the venue and the start date and or the starting time and ending time and all that stuff, do you?
Um, I don't believe it's required. You're correct. I don't believe it's required. What
Because
I'm
I
trying,
just put in the start and the end date.
yeah, yeah. I'm firing this up for the first time because I figure we do this every month. We might as well make a template if possible. And
Well, I was gonna say too, like you were saying, if you do it every month, like
yeah,
if you have it set up for Clear Creek Trail, like when I do mine, I just have to put in the first letter a lot of times, and it shows like all the things that start with the same letter, and then I can pick which one I want.
yep. And that's what I'm hoping I can initiate from here. I'm hoping. Nancy, you were asking about the different efforts. Here we are right here. So let me see. Environment type, of course, is clean water and sanitary. I think it's more of environmental than others. Let me see. Worked with four Leos to maintain the Clear Creek Trail. Now, we don't maintain the entire trail. We've only got a small, about a half-mile section of the trail that we maintain. There are other organizations throughout Kitsap County that have different sections of the trail, and the trail actually has side loops and offshoots and so forth. So they've got a lot of different organizations and individuals that help maintain that trail. It's very, very cool. All right, so I've got everything set. And the one thing that I frequently miss is this right here. If I don't assign this, then this is pending. This is a draft. It's incomplete and it does not go into the final report.
Where do you put your photos?
Photos.
When
Oh.
you save, after you save it, you'll see it.
Okay. All right.
Usually in the top right.
It's over on the right-hand side.
Upload images. Yeah. And I didn't take any pictures, so I have nothing to upload.
Yeah.
Cool
You can
stuff.
upload them, and then after you upload, if you click on image preview, you'll see the pictures that you've uploaded. Just so you know.
Very cool. Okay.
I find it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
I have a question, Al. We
Yeah.
have a project that goes on for the whole year, and I haven't shown it complete, but it's a meat draw, a gift card meat draw we do every Saturday. All I do is go in and update the information each month. But if I don't, if I show it complete, I've got to start over because it won't let you edit a complete report. Or should we be doing a separate, like for February, our gift
I
card?
have one like that I do every month.
You just do a separate report every month.
Correct.
Okay, well, maybe that's the way, because otherwise it's pending. Can anybody else see the pending ones?
I know my president can because sometimes when I fail to hit that top mark, my club president will remind me.
I guess if you were to at some point, Al, just take a look at the Sunshine Coast Lions Club and gift card meat draw. I'll send you an email on this afterwards, because if you can see it, then obviously everybody else can see it. It's just not complete.
Right.
Yeah, I'll send you an email on it. Then we'll know.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I always leave mine in draft and then my club president proofreads it and completes it and puts it on his database. So we have two eyes on the activity.
Yeah. Very good. Good idea. I like that.
I do mine all by myself.
One of the things that I did, I created a spreadsheet for donations and for activities, and I record all of them on there as they're happening, or that will happen. Like we get Easter egg hunt, it's going to happen. And then I've got 3 columns. Did it go on the LCI website? Did it go to the district governor's newsletter? And it did go to the Coast Reporter, which is a local newspaper. And it's a really good way to keep track of where you're at. You may find that,
Because otherwise you'll find that when you go back and look at last year's stuff, you'll find that there's stuff missed if you don't have that. I only started that about 2 months ago.
Oh,
You know, it works really well.
yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So reporting service, relatively easy. You know, once you get accustomed to that page and how it's laid out. I want to, I mentioned earlier that this portion over here, these are stats, which are very cool. 1.36, yeah. We can see the same thing in a different way with the Insights dashboard. Now, as I open this thing up, we're actually looking at the same information. Come on. But this is now an interactive tool. Now, because it's interactive doesn't mean that you can go in and change stuff and mess things up and so forth. This is read-only. It's coming from one source for you to see, and that's it. If you want to make any changes as secretary, president, or club admin, you can make changes to your club activities and so forth. But other than that, in here, in the dashboard, this is read-only. Now, notice we've got the stuff over here, and these are all links. Total membership. I can also look at in greater detail with this tool. I can look at it in greater detail to see what they're talking about with all of the different CAs. And the same is true with total donations to LCIF, total clubs by CA. And look at that, CA6, Isami, which is India, Southeast Asia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, I believe, or East Asia. Anyhow, they are quite big at 12. Yeah, and so far, the CA1 is larger. And of course, activities count. This is where your information regarding your service activities are accumulated. Now again, this is read-only, but let me show you something. If you click up here on membership, notice that we've got lots of information regarding our membership, and this is international wide, but there's some interactive tools over here on the left side. Drop membership, memberships by type, and notice that this is by Lions International hierarchy. If you are familiar with or you work with your GAT team, you can organize this, you can drill down by GAT areas. Now, most folks are accustomed to the Lions International hierarchy organization. So I'm going to stick with this one. And down here, instead of all CAs, I just want to look at the US and I want to look at Canada. And then I click over here to turn off that display. And within here, well, I should point out that I've got all of my multiple districts, including the multiple districts up in Canada, displayed for me to play with. Yeah. Yep, there we are. And within multiple district MD19 in Canada, these are the 3 districts. And of course, it spans the goes across the border, which is cool. But these are our districts that we have. From within the districts, I can select just MD19 and watch what happens up here as well. And then within MD19, I can select a specific district. It says -Can, which of course is Canada. And that's, yeah, that's cool. But those are all the old districts. If I want to look at the new districts, I want to look at District I, see what's going on up there. Oh, yeah. And then over here, I can drill down. Aha, so these are all the districts in District I. And Sunshine Coast, you say, Sunshine, oh, they're not part of I.
We're in L.
L. Okay, all right. I'm going to pick on one of these, Oliver. And notice this changed as well. With each club that I change, my chart changes. And then over here, I see the number, the membership current right now for Penticton is 23. And sometimes those pop-ups get in my way. Previous year, last year, so they appear to be down by one, and they appear to have added one, but because they're down by one, there's a zero on the drops, so they have a gain. Let me scroll over here. So they have a gain of one. So here you see the net, and these are net over here on the far right side.
Al, can you
Yo.
print those off, those charts?
Oh, yes, yes. I knew there was a way. Right here is work my way up, work my way down, all the way to the very bottom. And then here takes me to the lowest level. If I've got a lot of data, these are very handy navigation tools. This is my focus mode, but this right here, whenever you see something that talks about options or more, so I can export this data and download it that way. I can show it as a table. I can spotlight, and I can sort in a different manner. This is by club name. I can sort by descending order rather than ascending. And I can also sort by membership in fiscal year. Membership by last year. Members added this year. I could actually sort by those members that were added this year. And I find that my top clubs I have a mix over here on my in my last column. I have a mix, so I'm not sure what's happening there. But I see that, but these are different ways that I can do this. And again, I can export this. If I show this as a table, I've not tried this one before. So it's in a separate, yeah. Is it still interactive? It's not interactive, but I can scroll and look at this different ways. Now, once again, I can export this data. And if I export this, of course, that means that it's going to come down in one of several ways. Data with the current layout, what I see on the screen right now, summarized data, which just gives me totals, and underlying data. The report author, turn this off. Okay, fine. Notice the default file format is Excel, but of course, I can revert back to CSV. Very cool. I'm going to go backwards, back to report, and it did not refresh, so I'm literally back to where I started from. And again, I can wander down and select one of these and see my chart up here. This is sort of a
We're not seeing it anymore. We're just in the gallery. Or at least I am.
Oh, I see a chart.
I
Oh,
see-
do you?
I see it.
Huh. Okay. Carry on.
Oh.
then.
That's because you're up there in Clallam Bay. I mean, you know.
Do you see it, Mike and Karen? Do you see the chart? Oh, it's just
Yeah, I
me.
see the chart.
We can see it.
So there.
All right.
Cool stuff. Now here's a small club, Beaver Valley. And again, here's another one of these clubs with LC. And this one I often want, if somebody knows Forest Grove 94, what the club is Forest, name is Grove 94. Is Grove 94 the name of an area up there or something?
Are you still in District I?
Yeah.
Okay, then Forest Grove was a club that folded right at the end of last fiscal year.
Ah,
They had just about collapsed once before, and then unfortunately they didn't cure their problems. So
yeah. So what was the thing with the 94?
I don't know.
I think the name might be input wrong. It's probably Forest Grove 94.
Good, yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the
it's actually it was actually Forest Grove Lions Club. I
yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
realize there was a 94 there because they never showed it before on anything else.
Yeah, this is what Lions International has. This is their information. Somebody told them that their name was Forest Grove 94. So, now this is the membership. Same idea when it comes to service activities, because you can drill down, and because I previously drilled down, it's showing me the stats for District I, and this is the history, in years past. Oh no, these are by month, and again, if I open this up for Canada and MD19 and District I. Oh, I have to open this up because I want to look by club. Yeah. So this is 100 Mile House. I always think to myself, 100 Mile House must be located in 100 Mile Ranch. No, that's not quite the case at all.
No, it isn't. It's actually the old stagecoach. They started out at Yale, and at 100 miles was where they made a stop.
Huh.
So that was an overnight stop for the stagecoach going up into the goldfields.
Wow. Very good.
So at 108 is the next one north. There's 94 south. Just works both ways.
57 or something like that. I think it's from Spence's Bridge.
Is there? It could be, yeah.
No,
But
it's
it does.
Spence's Bridge.
It is taking up basically taking up the goldfields.
Yeah.
You meet Matthew Bailey Begbie.
Now we know. Now this is service activity. So according to 100 Mile Ranch, they've only had 3 activities so far this year. Last year they had 7. Total number of people served. And again, I can scroll over here to right and see even more stats. Overall volunteer hours in previous fiscal year, last year. Admin count in fiscal year. Admin people served. So maybe that was something that the administrator, environment and hunger, and wow, it goes on and on and on. For
Yeah,
all
they're actually 108 Mile Ranch.
108. Oh, yeah. I didn't catch that. Okay, yeah, very cool. So these are all of the service activities that you can see club by club to see what's going on. Now, I've often wondered, is there a way? I would like to be able to see all of the activities for 108 Mile Ranch. I want to see what they did. When all that information that they plugged in there about number of people that participated and where they did this, where the venue was, and the dates and so forth and so on. And so far, I haven't been able to find a way to dig that out. But it would be nice if I could do that. Maybe even something as simple as a double click, and that would fire it off. But no, it doesn't. So I can see the number of people served in the volunteer hours, which again, that's nice, but I can't get to detail. Of course, do I have a real need for it? I really don't. I'm just more curious than anything. When it comes to donations, and this is donations to LCIF, here we see what the donations are going on. And for District L, come on. This is MD19. District I, I'm sorry, District I. And these are the donations, club by club. So we've got a total for the district of 9,000. Last year was 10,000, so you'll probably beat that. And so we got lots of stats going on here as well. Now, what's going on with the clubs over here? So with the clubs, and again, I'm going to drill down to see what we're talking about. Total clubs, new clubs. Aha. So, is this a new club? Reorganized, drop clubs. I'm going to scroll over again to the right. Oh, that's it right there. Specialty clubs. So I see that we've got one specialty club in District I. Not sure which one it is. So why is Golden Forest Grove? Because it was dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Oh, it appears that Trail was recently dropped as well.
Yes, it dropped 2 years ago.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of those things that seems to be happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had occasion, our zone chair, Bill Conway, wanted to know the contact for a club in Kelowna, and there used to be 4 clubs in Kelowna, and I
Yep.
was really distressed to find that Kelowna Central's gone, Rutland's gone, the Orchard City Lions is gone. The only one left is Okanagan Mission.
Yep. The most of them that folded in Kelowna were too reliant on lottery grants,
Yeah.
and they sort of lost contact with the community, and they just sort of petered away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is what all that stems from something called the dashboard. The second item here is district goals. Every district governor tells LCI what their goals are for the year in a variety of different categories. And that information you can see for any district is reflected in here. Again, of course, we're going to hurry up and wait. Da, 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 da. And part of this is going to be, excuse me, part of this when we get into some of the details is going to be in a format that some of you may not recognize, but some probably will. For instance, again, I'm going to be drilling down US and Canada. And for the GAT area, it's organized by GAT again. I'm going to just bypass all that and motor over here to MD19. And then for the districts, I want to pick on a different district this time. I'm going to pick on O. And as I make these choices, notice how things change. This, with most of the districts, this is going to be empty until toward the end of the year when the district governor makes reports. So that's going to be empty. But this is just a general overview. Again, we've got summary information over here on the left side, and we've got service activities. And I want to point out that the governor's goals for last year was he achieved 50% of what he anticipated. So far this year, they're at 74 of what they anticipate. And this is current. Oh, this is goal. Oh, I misread this up here. So this is current where we're at right now. The goal is at 74%. 74% of what? And then previous year, 74% current reporting service.
Clubs reporting the service activities. Because a lot of clubs still don't report service activities on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's probably the goal is that they want 74%. He wants 74% of his
by the year.
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Reporting service by type, of course, yeah, Leo's clubs. And it's really kind of odd because the Leo's clubs themselves can't report the service. It's the parent club that reports the service for the Leos. Cool. The mission 1.5. So we got one new club as a mission 1.5 target. And so far, nothing's been accomplished. New membership is 194, so they're a little bit below 200. Now that's the target is 194, and so far they're at 113. Last year they brought in 133. But net, of course, means that you subtract from this the number of people that were dropped for whatever reason. And here we have, so net gain, hoping for a net gain of 1. That would be the club, or would that be the number of members?
Yeah, there's got to be a district goal.
It's got to be a district goal. Yeah, yeah. Of clubs, not members. Yeah. And despite this right here in the middle, over here on the right, target club, target member target, and net target gain. It's got to be by club. Got to be by club. And of course, I can drill down and poke around and find out what's going on with individual clubs and by quarter. So I see that they got total districts, target, actual versus target. Got some more information over here. Oh, it goes on and on and on and on. Yeah. So in the second quarter, it appears that they were a little more active than, no, I guess that was the first quarter, a little more active, dropping 16. Wow. Leadership development. Now, I don't report this. I'm not my district or MDGLT, so I'm not sure how this is done. I presume the Lions in those positions have a mechanism by which they can report this. I know that and toward the end of the year, after I've done my portion of the club officer training and the zone chair training, I report this to the GLT and to the district governor and to Michelle up at MD19 and several other folks in the GAT structure. So, and it's not like it's classified information or anything, but I keep track of what's going on with our activities in the training. I keep track by date and by name, and the numbers that, for instance, when I do the club officer for the club president training, I log who had connected in for the training and whether they are going to be club president next year or not. Because I have some folks that log in because they just want to see what's going on, what the club president's supposed to do. Nothing wrong with that. And then, of course, LCIF donations. District fundraising, 34K is the goal, and they've reached 72K. Not bad. Now, last year, they almost got 200, so it appears that they're a little behind. All right, I'm going to scroll up one more time because that's the learn. This is the metrics membership reports. The membership reports are not names. They're just numbers by club. The KPI, key performance indicator, KPI, different KPI reports. And notice it opened it up in a different tab. And these are links to the different types of reports. For instance, I click on the membership dashboard, and this is all about the members and the clubs that they're going into and reinstated members and dropped and transferred, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Notice it went into a separate tab, a different tab. So if I return back from where I came, hey, not bad. Now again, this is information that you cannot change. It's very cool, but I've got the same tools that I can use to filter in a slightly different fashion. I want to return to this because I want to also show you the membership reports. The membership reports brings up information regarding a wide variety of things going on. Missing club officers. If for a district governor, this is the stuff that's important right here. The sort of stuff is important. Membership comparison, 5-year trend reports, summary of membership, club health assessments. Club health they keep 5-year records on club health assessments. Those reports that the district governor gets, they keep that for 5 years. There's one that, and I think it's in here, the register report. Yes, yes. For those of you that may look at this and be confused, this is very similar. It's a Windows version of a DOS directory, a Windows version of this. And notice this goes back 10 years, greater than 10 years, 20 years. Oh, wow. It used to be they only kept it for 5 years. But I can look at this year's information so far, and I can see that for each month, I can drill down. I'm looking for the month of October of last year, and I can drill down to the specific district. Now, this is in DOS sorting order. And let me bring this back up to the top. Starts off with the number 1, 10, 101. Yeah, that's and 103, etc., and then 11, and then 111. So you just have to do some drilling down. I want to work my way down to multiple district 19. Here we are. So I've got ILNOS. I haven't picked on S yet. So I click on S and it drops a PDF. I don't know if you can see it. It dropped can you see the window here?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is where Michelle gets her information for her monthly reports. This right here. And sometimes,
Unfortunately, it's not showing up, just the window.
oh,
The
not the
blank window.
contents?
Just black.
That's disappointing. Let me stop the share and restart the share. There.
Ah,
This is where Michelle gets her information. And if something is wrong here, then of course the club president or district governor or somebody needs to ding presumably the club secretary to make the corrections.
Our zone chair sends them to me because he can't read them. He's sight impaired, but I know what it is, whether our clubs if the new clubs in our zone are good or not.
Right. Very good. Very good.
Assume he gets them from the district governor, and then he forwards it, or maybe he gets them right from multiple district. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Bringing this back and returning back from where I came. I can walk my way backwards. So I can go month by month, district by district, and see club by club what their different stats are. No names, just the numbers. And I work my way backwards back to the very beginning. And because this is read-only information, and I am a naturally curious person, I look at this and I say to myself, aha, this is the membership register directory that I'm looking at. This is the reports directory immediately above it, the parent directory. So if I click on the parent directory, I see that I've got 5-year trend reports by district, by MD, by quarter. All of these different reports are available for anyone to look at. Now, some of these, like the analysis report, I have great difficulty understanding the content, but there's nothing wrong with poking around in here just to see what you can see. When I first started doing the circuit of different districts and multiple districts and doing training and so forth, one of the training things that I started early was finding out through here the district that I was going to visit, and we were going to talk about membership, and I would dig through here and find the last 5 years, what they've been doing with their membership, create a chart from that, and use that in my presentation, talking about membership and the need to improve and so forth and so on. Some people thought this was old information that was no longer available. Oh yeah. So don't hesitate to poke around in here. Again, it's read only, and you're not going to break anything by doing so. Back over here within the report insights, the membership reporting, the very first one, the register report, that's where I found that. Now there's very similar organization, if you will, for all of these as well. Some of them are not set up this way. I think it's missing club officers. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. So so wander through here, and you'll find some very interesting information. There's ooh, wow, we've been at this for an hour and a half. There's two more things that I want to very, very quickly touch on. Number one is the Lions Learning Center right here. All of the courses, and I'm sure you're aware of this, maybe you've heard it from me, but I want to reemphasize, all of the courses in here are free of charge. And, yeah, oh, hey. Pardon me. This takes on three different sections. The online training, and this is organized by Lions International. And if there are any international institutes coming up, and here I'm talking about something like Faculty Development Institute, or talking about the Regional Lions, no, the regional is down here, Advanced Lions Leadership Institute, etc. They would be listed here. And right now they got nothing going on, in the near future, I should say. And the folks at MD19 were able to set up in here this information regarding the Northwest Lions Leadership Institute coming up in May. Of course, nwlli.org also has more detailed information than what they have here. Something I'd like to encourage. But if we could, let's go into the Lions Learning Center. And once again, we hurry up and wait, which is fine. Now, this is responding a little better than it did last time around. First of all, last year, I was a first vice district governor group leader. And so by default, it always drops me into this profile. And I don't want to look at that because I want to, yeah, those are my governors in place. Because I want to get logged on as a regular. Oh, I do that over here. Here it is. 23771. I think bringing it up by membership number. Switch to learner view. That's what it is. Switch to learner view. Yeah. Now it recognizes my name instead of group leader, and not started, not in a long time. I don't have any things in private. Oh, I guess I do. Oh, and I opened them up at the very least to show them off. Yeah. So, for instance, the club president. Many of these positions, they have what they call a learning path, where there's 2 or 3 or 4 different courses that you can take for this. And I'm clicking on the president, and I see that the responsibilities, the journey, et cetera, et cetera. So I got 3 different modules in here: club officer training, club president responsibilities, and coursework changes, the service journey. Okay, all right. It's been a while since I've been in here. So I'd like to suggest that you wander through the Learning Center. If you click over here on the Content Library, where you see Learning Path, means there's more than one, and you can take any one of these or several of these. They are entirely free. They're entirely online. They're not the old sit and watch and listen. They're actually interactive, where they will ask you questions. It's looking for a correct response before you continue. So take a look and see what you can find and help improve yourself as a Lion, your club, your zone, your district, whatever it may be. Oh, conflict resolution. Ooh, this used to be a 3 course item. It appears they've consulted, or maybe they changed the whole thing. I don't know. But conflict resolution is something that seems to me was relatively new, because it's a single course. It used to be 3. Used to have a path assigned to it. So that's the Lions Learning Center. And I think it is in here that I don't want to switch to admin view release. No. Oh. Ah. So it opened up a different tab up here to go into the Learning Center. That's what's happening. Last but not least is shopping. Understand if you are a club president or secretary that you can do shopping in here, and after you made your selection and you're ready to check out, you can have one of your options is to have that total amount billed to the club, or you can assign a credit card or a debit card and work it, pay for it that way. Within the we've got lots of apparel, awards and recognition, supplies. These are club supplies, stuff like name badges, which are cool. Club programs. If you've ever wanted to get information about the peace poster, here it is right here. The global causes. That's incomplete, isn't it? Yeah. And then accessories. And of course, that's important because you need yet another coffee cup. All right. And they do this every year, and I hadn't noticed this before. If you're attending the International Convention in Orlando, if you order by the end of the month of April, you can have your supplies picked up at the convention instead of them shipping them. And that means that if they're not shipping them, they're not charging you shipping fees. So that'll help reduce the cost as well. Of course, that also means that you need to put it in your bags and have to throw it in the airline's cargo. And yeah. So I just offer that. Cool stuff. Lots of stuff in the Lions portal. A ton of stuff. And I've really hit on the major items within here. I encourage you to go poking around in here. There's a lot of stuff happening. And again, depending on your level, your position within our organization determines what you can change and what you cannot. I was going to mention this and I failed. Let me mention it right now, and that is for club secretaries and presidents, you can change information regarding your club members except for names and date of birth. For both of those, you have to coordinate with Lions International. They will make the change for you. I'm not sure what they're looking for, but it requires coordination with them. You can't do it yourself. Whew. A lot of stuff here, folks. Questions? What have I missed?
What about, how do you input the new club officers' information on this? Our secretary didn't do it last year and I had to send it to Michelle and she input it. But I'd like to know how to do it this year so we don't have to go through that.
Yep. Okay. So I clicked on my club and I want to manage my club officers. Manage is different than view. Manage my club officers and create a new assignment, end assignment. First, I would have to end the assignment for instance, club president. After I've ended the assignment, then I would create a new assignment. So let me end the assignment for John. John Gardner is our club president. He doesn't know it, but ta-da! Now I need to put him back in, right? So I'm going to create a new assignment for the current year. This is for the upcoming year. If it's before the end of June, it would be current. Upcoming year, of course, is for next year. And previous, no, current year, I'm good. And club officer is officer and official. Now, what this is talking about, admin, of course, means that he's not an officer per se, but he has admin rights just like president and secretary in here. Official and local is you can create your own club officer position. For instance, you want to create a position specifically for the keeper of the bell. you can actually create that title and assign a person to that. Kind of cool. But I'm going to stick with the official stuff because I need to assign John back as, here we are, back as club president. So I've got, now this time it's kind of backwards. First it was president and then the person to delete. Now it's the person to add and a position to add on. Come on. Oh, don't flake. Oh, man. Oh, John's going to kill me if I don't get this fixed. I may have to fix
You
it.
didn't take him off as president. You took him off as LCI coordinator. He's
Oh, is
still
that right?
as president, so it's not as bad.
Ah. Okay, good. Current. I didn't catch that. Thank you.
It's not so bad. He can still be president for a while.
Yeah, if I had done that as president, and I did not fix it, he would notice it sooner or later. Currently here.
Did work out.
Good. All right, officer, and then official. Yep.
Oop.
Okay, and John.
Well, officer title up at the top, you didn't click that.
Oh. There we are.
There you go.
So it was LCIF coordinator that I
Uh-huh.
removed him? Okay, all right. Now I'll bet you anything. Tomorrow, John's going to add an officer address. No, I'll bet you anything. Tomorrow in his in basket, he's going to find a welcome from LCIF. Hey!
But I guess so. You can go in and input right after you've had your elections. You can go and input for next year.
Yes.
Who they are.
Yep.
But what you're saying is at the end of, do you have to go in and delete the previous secretary, or they automatically fall off at the end of June, I think.
They will automatically fall off if it's not the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if like the secretary, the club service chair, the president, you have to put them as an administrator, not an officer. Otherwise, they won't be able to do anything to make changes on the portal.
Someone other than the secretary and president, yes.
Yeah, and service chair is the same thing. If you don't, yeah.
Yep. Good questions.
Now, can you give like an assistant secretary? Can you appoint them as an administrator?
Assistant secretary.
We don't have that. It's not a recognized officer, but we have an assistant treasurer, assistant secretary who looks after the position if that person isn't able to attend a meeting for some reason.
Correct.
He would not have access to this.
Unless he or she was assigned as administrator. Let me show you. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create as an administrator, but this is going to be a local files are not recognized by board policy, will not hold official positions to manage clubs. Local titles are unofficial. Well, not sure. Not hold official permissions to manage clubs. Okay. So it's got to be an official.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then again, I've got all of my club members that I can assign as an admin. Cool stuff. Other questions? Okay. Understand again that the next time you log on to the portal and you go into one of these things, it's very possible that something may have changed. Because like I said, they're continuously working. And oftentimes, if I can go back over here, oftentimes I will find in the videos, the training videos, I forgot about the assignment. Delegate. So announcements will also talk about changes that they made, and sometimes in the training videos, they will have a training session on just this new thing that they invented for us. I noticed that with the new module that they set up, the navigation improvements. Yes. So how you navigate around and the different modules and so forth, they set up a video for just that purpose. They've also got videos for semi-annual reporting dues. Oh, in different languages. There we are. Cool. And over here. Yep. Managing club branches, club members, service activities, etc., etc., etc. There's a ton of them in here. So don't hesitate to go poking around in here as well. This is the newest one, and I found it to be very interesting. You will find with each of these that their pacing is substantially different than mine. I'm still not used to going at such a slow pace. I do understand why they do that. But they are at a slower pace so that people can absorb and experiment on their own and try it and see if it works and so forth. Other questions? Okay. Well, I would like to thank you all for connecting in this evening. I do appreciate your time and understanding that the whole purpose of these sessions is to make us better Lions, make us better club officers, etc. And please encourage your fellow club members to attend training, whether it's mine, whether it's club training at your district convention or MD convention, or through the Lions portal or through Lions University. Please encourage your fellow club members to attend training. We have better members when they are informed members.
Could I ask everybody to give us a smile and a wave, and I'll get a nice picture of us? Oh, those are some good smiles. I'll leave and do another one. 1, 2, 3. Good. Oh, no. I think I got that, Al.
Night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
informative.
Very nice.
See you later.
Thank you, Al.
Quite welcome.
See you, neighbors.
Yeah.